Hello, I'm Danny Barnes with the CCAA, and I'm joined right now by the head coach of the Cal State East Bay women's basketball team, Jenny Thigpin. How are you doing today, Coach?
Good, and yourself?
Doing very well. Glad to get back at it, get some basketball going after the Christmas break. I know you've already had one game as you guys played on New Year's Eve and everything like that, but we just wanted to hear a little update and get to hear how the Pioneers have done at kind of the unofficial halfway point of the season. So maybe give us just some updates on how the season's gone for your team to this point in the year.
Well, I honestly just made a comment this weekend that we've been the team that fights from behind a lot this season. So we've been calling ourselves the comeback kids. I've been actually challenging them to have a stronger start. But at the end of the day, our grit and our heart has been carrying us through some of our victories. So just being able to stay together and find a way to win.
Well, you've had a chance to obviously battle through some of these games. I look on the record as I was going. You guys might not have the record you want right at the moment, but I've noticed you guys had a number of games, 4 games decided by 2 points or in overtime. Could you talk to us about just the opportunity to play these games and some of the non-conference ones and what you've maybe learned about your team in these contests?
Just being able to set people up within our roster for success, help them play to their strengths. That's one of our biggest challenges in the locker room is understanding each other, and what we're great at, and how we can put each other in positions to succeed to our strengths. So we've had a lot of just kind of lessons learned that in the game situations, what works, what doesn't work. But at the end of the day, we've been priding ourselves on defense. So if we can get defensive stops, that helps translate into offensive scores and execution for us on the other end.
You've mentioned a little bit here, and you kind of led into one of my next questions I had. You talked about players' individual strengths, and you did talk a little bit about your defense, but what would you consider some of the other strengths of your team, maybe that have helped manifest throughout the season and that you hope to see, build upon going forward?
One thing that we talk about, it's a team goal, offensive rebounds. New Year's Eve, we got 17 offensive rebounds, but we only scored 14 points. So that's been a challenge for us. Is we're getting the second chance opportunities, but now can we capitalize on them? We got to be able to double that number, because we're winning the possession games, but at the end of the day, the numbers and the percentages have to go up in the scoring column.
Thank you. We love that insight on that one. So you've obviously had a chance to at least start practicing, come together back in early August, but now we are in early January. What's been something that maybe you didn't expect about your team in that August time when you first came together that now is part of your team now, whether it's a player or something, a team feature?
We're fighting battles with injuries. So we lost a couple kids early on. We've had some injuries here or there that take some key role players out of positions, out of starting positions. But at the end of the day, our players just being confident in themselves and the role that they're in, and again playing to our strengths. But right now, just kind of finding our identity. We pride ourselves on our defense, so that's where we have been hit home. Defense and rebounds are going to help us win games.
I don't want to always zero in on too many individuals out there. And I think you do have a couple individuals out here that are leading the conference right now in some categories. Um, Jaleel Richardson is leading the conference in blocks, and you have Peyton Sturck, who leads the conference actually in minutes played and points per game. Could you talk to maybe what they're doing, both your teams, and especially Peyton as her maturity from a freshman to a sophomore, and as she's helping your team out even more?
Yeah, well, Peyton, she has a big role. We probably every game out, she sees the top defender. So that's a challenge for us still when we're facing, the top defender on our top offensive player, being able to set solid screens, being able to get her open. Big thing for us is just being able to make the extra pass. We want to be able to create for each other in order to get easy looks. And that's one thing my team does. I think our post players demand a lot of presence in the paint. And as of late, we've seen a few doubles. So when those doubles come in, our post got to be able to kick out and find our shooters. And that's honestly where Peyton has been able to have some success is with our bigs attracting a lot of attention. She's there for the kick out threes, or they're able to just kind of get her open off of solid screens. So again, knowing their roles, knowing where the highest percentage shot is coming from.
What is something about your team that isn't showing up in the box score, but you feel is an important part of the Pioneers?
Our heart. My kids never quit. They never give up. As hard as I go at them at practice and create adversity for them, they fight back. Every day is a battle. And you'll hear them in the locker room when his coaches are coming in. You know, they're saying things that we're about to get ready to say. They hold themselves accountable on a daily basis, and at the end of the day, they take pride in their game. They take pride in defending, and they don't give up. They never once count themselves out. Even the other night, going down 19-2 in the first quarter, coming over at the end of the quarter, like they're not out, they're not down and out. We were able to close the gap going into halftime, and that's what my team does. Is they pride themselves in their heart and their work ethic at the end of the day.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. All right. Got a couple rapid fire questions for you here to close it out. Gonna just throw these out at you and you give me your first answer. Who is your best one-on-one perimeter defender?
She's a freshman, Layla Clary. If I can keep her on the floor and out of foul trouble.
Love it. Who's your best rebounder?
Right now, Jayla Richardson, Taylor Lindsay, and Kayla, any given day, they are going to be on the boards. Sorry, I didn't give you one. I don't have one.
You gave the answer quick, and that's the key on that one. There's no hesitation. Would the Pioneers rather score 90 or hold a team below 50?
Our goal is below. Our goal defensive below is to hold them under their average.
I like it. I like it. As a coach, what is your favorite practice drill?
Anyone that they hate. Full court layups, 2 minutes. Their goal is to make 70. We also hold them accountable before they get water. They got to shoot 80% free throws before they can get water. So anything that they want to turn their nose up to is my favorite drill for the day.
I love it. All right. You've had this opportunity 1 year through. I know it's only once, but where's the hardest road game in the CCAA?
But, you know, right now, San Marcos, they're the toughest. And I'll throw that Sonoma in there. I think that's going to be our hardest road trip. Both teams are extremely disciplined. The stretch of, you know, having to get in the van and drive in and then having to get on an airplane the next day, that's going to be a pretty tough road trip for us, but as well as going down to see some top contenders.
Fantastic. All right, Coach, you're off the hot seat. But thanks for just giving us a couple minutes of your time and give us some updates on the Pioneers on, like I said, the unofficial halfway point of the season.
Thank you.